Welcome to PRV Iyer Laya Academy of Music and Mathematics. Welcome to PRV Iyer Laya Academy of Music and Mathematics. We have seen the Balapadams, we have completed Farans, we have also started off with the sequences Taddim Taddit. There were many sequences in that order. Then we went into Taddin Dinna series. We learned the open-close logic, how to go about playing a sequence. Then introduction of families into Taddin Dinna sequences like Kedatakadim family, Thalangudim family, Takatanadim family. We also had a get together of how we have to do all these in one go. How we have to play as a lesson the reduction and the Thirmanam or the Mora. And how we have, when you are playing continuously Taddin Dinna, how you need to represent one particular phrase in each family and then do it. We learned all those. Today, you're going to learn Taka Dhimi Dhimi Taka series. This series, I'm going to introduce you 3 different family members into this sequence family. And before I start with this sequence, I will start as usual with a good note, Thirukural. Tenpulattar Devam Virundu Okkal, Tan Yendru Angu Aimpulattu Aru Ombal Thalai. What does it mean? Tenpulattar Devam Virindiner Sutrattar Tan Kudumbam Endru Aindidethum Aranari Penudal Illarattanuடைய சிறந்த கடமையாகும். A person who is in the family life who can always show dharma to the God, to the relatives, to the people around them, to his own family, and Tenpulattar especially, if he can do dharmic acts and lead a righteous way of life, he is always respected in the society. That's what Thiruvalluvar says. With this good note, we will start off the Taka Dhimi Dhimi Taka series. The Taka Dhimi Dhimi Taka series, if you look at it, is the extension of Taddin Dinna. What do you do with Taddin Dinna? I'm going to demonstrate you. This is what you do. Nam, dhim, dim, nam. For each of these syllables, if you can add the ka or the ki, which is one of the syllables which I taught you, the position is this. This is ki or ka. You pad ka with nam, again with dhim, again with dhim, and again with nam. So let's see how it goes. Nam ka, dhim ka, dhim ka, nam ka. You can tell notationally like that. Or nam ki, dhim ki, dhim ki, nam ki. That's another way of notationally representing. But you can't tell it fast, as I told you. There is a way you have to express. Taka, dhimmi, dhimmi, taka. Like that, you have to play continuously. The nam dim dim nam, taddin dinna becomes taka dimi dimi taka. Now I'm going to teach you the way you are going to play the sequence. The way you have to play the sequence is exactly the same logic as open, close, close, close. For none of the ka or key, you should not play the dhum. For example, the ka or key stands alone. You cannot pad a combined stroke. So only for nam, tham, dhim, wherever nam and dhim is coming, you have to pad with the dhum and use the same logic as open, close, close, close. Nam ki, dhim ki, dhim ki, tham ki. You should not play. Don't put dhum for everything. You will not be able to get the music out of it. The ka or ki is only a supporting syllable along with the nam and dhim, and you should only combine for nam and dhim. So again, the first line will be. The second line is same, all close. Tham ki, dhim ki, dhim ki, tham ki. Again. The third line, only for the first syllable you have to combine, the rest all is open. Only the first one. Tham ki, dhim ki, dhim ki, tham ki. The last line is, that is the last line. Now you need to remember the combination perfectly and then play all 4 lines consciously adding the dhum. So let's try again. I'm playing slowly. You will not know the beauty of this sequence when you play slowly, but you will understand where you need to pad up the dhum along with nam and dhim. Okay, this combined stroke. The rule of thumb here in this sequence, taka dhimi dhimi taka, wherever the key or ka you play, you should not play the dhum along with it. That is one thing you should have it in mind. Now let's do a little faster. Open, close, 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 open, open, open. This logic you should get into your mind, and that will lead you to play it like this. So that is the way you have to play taka dhimi dhimi taka. When you have to tell it, express it, taka dhimi dhimi taka, 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 taka dhimi taka, taka dhimi. You should tell with ups and downs, because open, close, 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 open, 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 close, 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 open, 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 open. You should give that modulation like that. When you play, you get the lilt of the music. That's how you should play. Now let's look at the 3 family members. What you are going to do along with this lesson is takka, takutiku, takutiku, takutiku. Takka. first takka is expressively namki. Taku tiku, taku tiku, taku tiku. Taki, 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 taki. Namki, taki, 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 taki. You should practice this. Takkat takutiku 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 takkat takutiku. It's something like a rail. No, as you travel in train, you get that feel. The second member I'm going to introduce you in this family is takutiku. Takutiku, 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 takutiku. You know takutiku, but to get that modulation, you play once in dum and once in tha, and that will have a beautiful effect. Takutiku, takutiku, takutiku. That's the second member of the family. When you play slowly and then this next speed and the next speed, we will see how it goes. You have to practice separately. It's something like a manufacturing unit. You make small pieces. Like that, each phrase you have to practice separately, like what you do in a workshop. Once when you practice, then you have to assemble it into the unit of the sequence. Then you get it perfect. Because the sequence per se, it's just uniform way it moves. Taka dimbi dimbi taka 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 dimbi taka. You have to fit into that phrase, the sequence. When you have to do that, you should be as fast as the sequence. Then only you will be able to put that phrase. Now I've taught you two phrases, introduced you to two phrases. Takkat takutiku takutiku takutiku, takutiku 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 takutiku. The way you have to play, I've also taught you. But the most important, why I want you to practice separately, is the sequence runs separately like a standalone. Takutiku 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 takadimbi dimbi taka taka dimbi dimbi taka dimbi dimbi taka taka dimbi dimbi taka dimbi dimbi taka 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 dimbi dimbi taka dimbi dimbi taka dimbi. You have to get that phrase into the same speed as the sequence. Then only when you play, it will be beautiful. When you play that last phrase a little elongated or a little faster, you will lose the beauty of the sequence. So the rule of thumb, whenever you are practicing, practice the last line separately. Like as you do, as in the manufacturing units, they make small parts. You need to separately work on this phrase and then combine into the sequence. Then you will get the beautiful effect. The third member in the family is takutiku taka, takutiku taka, takutiku. It's a beautiful phrase. Let's positionally understand how we need to do it. Dhumki taki namdum. The second part. Dhumki taki namdum. Dhumki taki. Takutiku taka. Takutiku taka. Takutiku. That is the way to tell. Takutiku taka, takutiku taka, takutiku. That's the expressive way, the notational way. That is how you have to play. Another way of playing. separately you practice this. So, in this class, what all has happened? We have started learning the new sequence taka dimi dimi taka. You have to understand how it's getting rooted, how it is getting generated, how it is formed, how it's getting created. It is created from tadhindina. It's created from tadhindina by adding a particular syllable key for each of these tadhindina. Nam key. That's the creation. So you have to understand the creation, so you will very clearly understand the sequence. Then the logic of how to play the four-liner with the open, close, 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 open, 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 open. If you look at the logic, it's very easy. The first two lines is open, close, close, close. The second line is close, 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 close. When you look at the third and fourth line, it's just the opposite. Close, open, 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 open. This is just the opposite. So it gives the perfect shade, a dark color, a light color. And that's how you should be, a dark blue, a light blue, a uniform. When you make it, it's beautiful. That's the concept of how the uniform would have come, or of all the different schools would have come up with. So it's something in music also, you need to differentiate the sequence so that you get the beauty out of it. So you need to know how to practice this in this particular logic. Practice number of times. Then I introduced three sequences, three phrases which have to be integrated with this sequence. So what are the three members of this family of taka dimi dimi taka? Takka takutiku takutiku takutiku. I will repeat. Takka takutiku takutiku takutiku. How to play? Takka is namki. Takutiku takutiku takutiku. Takutiku is taki 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 taki. So that phrase you practice separately 100 times. The next member in the family, takutiku, 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 takutiku. How did I express? Takutiku, 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 tak. I differentiated. So which means you have to play once with the dum and once with the tha. When you are practicing the lesson, you have to firmly play. I will teach you how to play when you play for the song. You cannot play the way you practice when you accompany. I will teach you later. But you have it in mind. When you practice, you should sweat out and then put in all your energy, ensure that you play the perfect position with a lot of force. But as you practice more and more, all this hitting should get mellowed down into a beautiful, nice way. You should start playing the instrument rather than hitting the instrument. I will teach you later, but right now you need to practice. The third member in this sequence is taku tiku taka, taku tiku taka, taku tiku. These are the three parts. You should not put a pause in between all these. I only demonstrated the position now. You should combine and play this phrase. Like that, the lucidity you should get. So, with this, I am completing. This is too much of learning and importance and attention you have to give for this class. And I will complete with the Thirukural, and I'll see in the next class how to integrate all the sequences into the lesson. And we'll try practicing those with the reduction logic, with the two-liner, with the mora, with the tirmanam, and then we'll look at all these in the next class. பழியஞ்சி பார்த்து ஊன் உடைத்தாயின் இல்வாழ்க்கை வழி எஞ்சல் எஞ்ஞாரும் இல். பழி பாவங்களுக்கு அஞ்சி தேடிய பொருளை அனைவரோடும் கூடி பகுத்து உண்ணும் இல்லறத்தானுடைய வாழ்க்கை களங்கமற்றதாகும். One who is God fearing and one who has earned his money with all in the right way and righteous way, it will be very, very good. Like he will feel very clear, very consciously free and happy, and that's what Trivulur says. And you should earn your money in a righteous way, and then you will feel without any guilt. With this good thought, I will see you in the next class, how to integrate and how to complete this Takadimidimithaka into a finesse. Cheers, looking forward to see you all in the next class, understanding whatever I taught you, the nuances.